Hi, I'm Ciliann. Welcome to my art channel. In this video I show you how to paint a wet-on-wet landscape painting, Coniferous Camaraderie. Enjoy! So here is a canvas that I've covered with a layer of creamy white paint mixed with original liquid. And we want this to be a sky at, I guess, either sunrise or sunset. So we start off with some patches of yellow, and now we're going to put these dark clouds on top. So we're making sure to leave open spaces, not to cover over the whole area. We want to leave white spaces inside the blue, and of course there are some by the yellow. And that will just give the impression of a streaky, cloudy sky. So I'm using my 2-inch brush and just pushing these flat sort of dark clouds towards the center of the canvas from either side, carefully going over the yellow parts, not to mix the blue paint with the yellow so the sky shouldn't turn green, but just touching over to give that effect of the clouds being sort of holy. And then holy, I mean with holes, that there are different, like Swiss cheese. Now after we're finished with the sky, we can go on to the mountains. And these are small distant mountains. And you can see that we're leaving the center, the center of the painting open. That's where the sun is rising or setting to or from. So after putting down that dark blue paint for the mountains, we'll just push it down with a 2-inch brush to get it to be a thin layer and to sort of fade into the distance. Here's our orangey sun area, where the clouds are a little more concentrated in color. And very carefully using a brush dipped in white, a fan brush, made some streaks of sunlight coming up from that area and going over the dark sky. It's very important when doing that to clean the brush after each streaking, because it gets blue in it from the sky. And here is a distant group of trees out there in the back, and then we come to the front area where all these coniferous trees are standing together in a ring. And since the sun is shining on them very brightly in this rising or setting position, we're going to put a lot of bright yellow and green underneath, since the light is coming from the back. And then towards the front we'll add on darker colors, because we're essentially looking at the shadowy side of the trees. So we want the brightness to come through in the background. And we're using just a 1-inch brush, or you can use a large round brush, just to put down these trees and bushes in different shades of green. And now using the fan brush and some dark brown paint, we'll give them their branches. Since this is quite close up in the front, we'll start very high up in the sky until quite low down in the front of the painting. And this tree here in the middle, that's directly in front of the sun, that will have the brightest background. And just continue to lay in all these trees with their branches using the fan brush. So this is like the middle layer. Since we want to put a few leafy branches on top of those bare ones, show how they're sort of in the center. This area up front is a bunch of tall grass, so I'm using a liner brush with a thin down paint. It's easiest to use when it's thinned down with linseed oil. Get a very thin, watery consistency. And the sunlight is very much caught on these, so they're bright yellow and white. And once I have enough paint down there, I can also scratch out some more stalks. So here we're filling up those trees in the front of them with more greenery. Cover up the branches and make them look like they're holding the leaves. And of course that tree there in the middle is the lightest one. Keep it that way so that the sunlight looks like it's coming from right behind it. And here we're using the palette knife to scratch out those twigs and stalks.